Hello, everyone. My name is Trana Shaughnessy. I'm with the Diaper Bank of the Ozark, and we would like to welcome you to our second annual Lunch and Learn with the Missouri Coalition of Diaper Banks. Just kind of wanted to give you a real quick introduction to some of the people you'll be hearing from today. We have Zoe with the National Diaper Bank Network. We have Susan with Happy Bottoms from Kansas City. We have Muriel from St. Louis Diaper Bank. And then we also have a couple of representatives that we're very excited to have with us today. We'll have Representative Dole as well as Representative Hicks. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trana. So if we can go to the next slide, that would be great. So hi, everyone. My name is Zoe Kraft, and I serve as the Manager of Legislative Policy for the National Diaper Bank Network. And I just want to take a second to thank you all again for joining us today to learn more about diaper need and the work of the Missouri Diaper Bank Coalition. And I want to begin today by giving you just a little bit of background on our work and what the National Diaper Bank Network does. So we work alongside over 225 member diaper banks in all 50 states, DC, and Puerto Rico. And that includes our incredible members right here in Missouri, to lead a nationwide movement to ensure that all individuals, children, and families can access the basic necessities that they need to thrive. And advocating for policy change really at every level, right? At the local, state, and the federal level, as well as supporting the work of our state coalitions, is really a major component of the ways that we work to address diaper need, as well as the issue of period poverty. Let's go to the next slide. Great. So with all of that being said, I also want to give you all a little bit of context around diaper need and how it impacts our families across the country. So diaper need is characterized by a lack of a sufficient supply of diapers to keep a baby clean, dry, and healthy. And another arm of the National Diaper Banks Network that is very much intertwined with our advocacy work is research. And so we recently released a study called the NDBN Diaper Check 2023. And that study actually showed that now 1 in 2 U.S. families with young children are now struggling with diaper need. And so this is a very sharp increase from the last study that was done. And so as we're seeing the need continue to grow across the country, the work of our diaper banks here in Missouri, as well as, across the nation as a whole, is really more important than it's ever been. Let's go to the next slide. Great. So I also want to give you all a little bit more specific information in terms of the ways that diaper need impacts our families. And so one of the major findings of our recent study, which really confirmed what many of our members on the ground have been seeing firsthand, is that diaper need doesn't only impact the physical health of children and families, but it also takes a huge toll on their emotional and financial well-being. 1 in 4 parents experiencing diaper need reported missing school or work because they didn't have enough diapers to drop their child off at daycare. And for the families who reported this, they also reported missing an average of 5 work days in the past 30 days. So obviously, this has a huge economic impact on our families, and for parents that are even earning the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, having to miss 5 work days already represents a loss of almost $300 a month. And, in addition, a lot of the families who are experiencing diaper need are also forced to cut back on other essentials. So sometimes this can look like cutting back on entertainment and activities outside of the home, but it can also look like being forced to cut back on food and not being able to pay utility bills. So because of the far-reaching impacts that diaper need has, it's also really easy to understand why a lot of our families who experience this issue feel stressed, feel anxious, and even feel judged about their responsibilities as a caregiver and their ability to provide for their children. And so these are just a few of the impacts that diaper need has, on our families, but I hope that this helps to give you a little bit more context as to the scale of the need that we're seeing, as well as really the importance of advocating for and passing legislation to support our communities with what really are basic essentials. So if you're interested in learning more about the findings from the study, I've included a QR code that will take you to the executive summary and major findings. But for now, I want to go ahead and pass things along to Susan to share more about how Missouri Diaper Banks are working to address the need and the coalition's priorities this legislative session.
Thanks, Zoe. So the Missouri Diaper Bank Coalition was actually founded 5 years ago. I think, Muriel, if I'm wrong on that, you can correct me. But it was really an effort that the Diaper Bank of St. Louis, the Diaper Bank of the Ozarks, and Happy Bottoms in Kansas City, as the executive directors came together to bounce ideas off one another, what was working in their communities, and how we could come together to affect change in the state. And then we said, why are we limiting it to just the 3 of us? Let's open it up to the other 5 diaper banks that make up the Missouri Coalition of Diaper Banks. And so together, the coalition last year distributed over 9.5 million diapers into our communities, and we were helping more than 12,000 infants and toddlers each month. There are 5 of the diaper banks in the coalition that are also part of the Alliance for Period Supplies. And they are helping to address period poverty in the state of Missouri as well. And our main focus as we came together was to really talk about the fact that diapers are taxed at the luxury tax level in the state of Missouri. So what you would buy, diamonds, alcohol, a car, diapers are also taxed at that 4.225%. So for the last 2 years, we have worked diligently in Jeff City to try to talk to our representatives and senators to get sales tax eliminated or reduced on diapers. And we will continue to do that this year as well. Some of our initiatives that we're looking at, along with sales tax reduction or elimination, is to also look at how can we also get some money appropriated in the budget and also get our tax credits reappropriated for the next 5 years. Okay, go to the next slide. 20% of our children under the age of 3 in Missouri live or in families that earn less than 100%. 24% of those families earn less than the federal poverty level. And diapers, we know, have increased in price over 37%. We also know that we are seeing more middle income families that are also asking for help, and we feel that that is also going to continue to grow this next year. So not just serving families living at below poverty level, but we're also seeing those middle income families needing help too. Next slide, Gabe. So as I said, we're putting forward 3 opportunities for the legislators in Missouri to help us. Obviously, to eliminate sales tax on the diapers, which will help everyone. But really more importantly for our diaper banks is this ability to have tax credits available for Kansas City. That means that I'm able to solicit about $200,000 of funding from companies and individuals that would then reap the benefit of a tax credit if they have Missouri tax liability. And then moving forward to trying to get $500,000 appropriated in the governor's budget this year that was specifically designated for growth for our diaper banks. Kansas City, well, we have all been providing 50 diapers per child per family. Kansas City knows through a study that we've done, and then also piggybacking on the study that the National Diaper Bank did, that the need is much greater and deeper. And so Kansas City in March will be moving to handing out 75 diapers per child per month, which will take our numbers up. Last year, we distributed 3.4 million, and just by adding that extra 25 diapers a month to each of our families, we will be distributing well over 4.6 million diapers next year. Next, and I think all of the diaper banks are looking at how can we grow? We know that there is diaper deserts north of us. We virtually serve all of the counties south of I-70. And so we know that we need to also get into those communities north of us as well. And we're all trying to do that. The restriction that we all are facing right now is not having enough money to do that. Next slide, Gay. And I think I'm turning over to Muriel.
Yes, thank you, Susan. I'm Muriel Smith, Executive Director at the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank. And I want to introduce our two legislators that are here today to speak to us about their bills and why they introduced them this year. I will let you know that Representative so he may or may not be joining us today, but we do have Representative Joe Dahl here. Representative Dahl is a Democrat representing St. Louis County District 91 in the Missouri House of Representatives. She was elected to her first two-year term in November of 2020. Prior to her legislative duties, she worked as a physical therapist. Representative Dahl has been a staunch supporter of the work that we are doing here at the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank for several years, and a supporter of this tax bill that she's introduced again this year. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Representative Dahl so she can talk to us about her bill and let us know anything else she'd like for us to know.
Thanks, Muriel. I am excited to be here. One of the great pleasures of my time as representative is learning about all these amazing resources that we have in our state, including the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank, which I've had the pleasure to visit and talk with Muriel, and they're doing amazing work. And I don't know, I haven't been to any of the other diaper banks, but I'm sure they are all equally impressive. So I filed House Bill 1920, and my bill is one of the ones that would not eliminate the tax. It would just reduce it. So it would reduce it to the same tax rate as food. So currently it's 4.225. This would reduce it to 1.225. And my predecessor, Gina Mitten, I think was one of the first people to really fight this fight. So I kind of inherited the bill from Gina. It was something that was incredibly important to her, and I wanted to continue her work. I will say last year we came really close to passing the bill, but it was attached to a bill that would eliminate the tax on food. And that is something that I think would be great. But when you talk to our municipalities, they are very strongly against eliminating the tax on food, because that's how they pay for our essential services like the firefighters, ambulance district, all those things. So, well, I think that's a goal that we should have as a state. We need to figure out how we can allocate money to our cities so that they can rely on revenue that's not just coming from sales tax. So I kind of, as Muriel said, I'm a physical therapist by background. So a lot of the bills that I have filed relate to healthcare, and our state, as I'm sure we all know, tend to pass things that disproportionately impact women and people living in poverty. So those have kind of been a big area of focus for me. We know, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but we know that women that can't afford diapers miss work because they can't take their children to daycare because they don't have diapers to drop the child off. We know that girls that don't have period supplies miss school. We know that women that don't have period supplies miss work. And there's also the thing we haven't really talked about yet is adult diapers, which is also a huge area of concern because we know there's a lot of health related issues relating to not having access to a good supply of adult diapers. People get skin infections, they get urinary tract infections, and for those that are immobile, it puts them at a really high risk of getting a bed sore or decubitus ulcer, which a lot of times can lead to infections and things that can end up being life-threatening. And just to give you a perspective, and you may already know these statistics, but they say that people spend $70 to $100 per month on diapers, $80 to $240 per month on adult diapers, and $20 per month per menstrual cycle. So it's not a small amount of money when you're talking about the tax on that. As was said earlier, we know 50% of families struggle to pay for diapers. And most importantly, we know that these items are not optional. They're not luxury. They're essential. They're essential to every woman. They're essential to every family with small children and many of our elderly population. So we know every year more and more people file this bill. Like I said, last year it got close to the finish line. We're hopeful that this year, as more people file it, especially more people on the Republican side who tend to get their bills moved faster, that maybe we will see some progress. I will say, I think one piece of education that I have learned from Muriel and just from being on this diaper tax journey is that when you speak to people in the House about diaper banks and the work they're doing, they often say, well, we don't need diaper banks because our church gives out diapers or our library gives out diapers, not realizing that they're getting the diapers from the diaper bank. So I think that that's really important to emphasize that, yes, there are diapers available in your community, but they are likely coming from the diaper bank. So that's kind of my story. I am happy to answer any questions.
If you have any questions for Representative Dahl, you can either come off mute or you can put them in the chat.
I have a question. How can any of us assist you on the legislative side? Is this something that we need to be, particular bill we need to be talking to our representatives about? What can be done from that
Absolutely.
perspective?
Absolutely. I think any advocacy you can do in terms of asking for these bills to be sent to committee, just putting focus on the need and the urgency for getting this passed would be incredibly helpful to all of us that have filed these bills.
Will there be an email coming out telling us what these bills are, what numbers and such?
I do. I think we had a list of them earlier in the presentation, so I'm sure that we can send that out.
Okay.
Hi,
Thank you.
Jack. I can get those to Jamie and she can get them to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Dahl, do you know if any of the bills that have been put forth, and I also want to say Patty Lewis from Kansas City, Representative Lewis is also on the call today. Have any of those bills been pushed to committee yet that you know of?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not sure if Representative Lewis knows.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Patty Lewis, and I know that mine has not been referred, but I haven't been following. There's quite a few bills out there supporting diaper banks, which is great. Certainly bipartisan support, and these types of bills have passed through the House several times. Unfortunately, they've gotten stalled in the Senate in the past and haven't made it across the finish line. But just want to let you all know that there is bipartisan support from several folks championing these initiatives.
So the Diaper Bank Coalition will be in Jeff City on Tuesday, the 13th of February. Is there anybody in particular that we should be seeing to help get those bills out to committee that can get them pushed on? Because I think we always get to the point where we're kind of hopeful and then it's May and you guys are ending session and we still haven't gotten across the finish line.
We know that story well. I would say, so the person that can refer it, the only person that can refer it to committee is the Speaker of the House, Dean Plocker. So it's always good to try and meet with him, which can be hard to get those meetings sometimes. And then any of the representatives that have filed these bills, especially on the majority party side, because they have the best chance of getting their bills heard, would be good to talk to and meet with and see if there's anything you can do to help them.
Perfect. I've got to call into Speaker Plocker's scheduler to try to
Okay.
get on his calendar on Tuesday. So fingers crossed that we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
You have a couple of questions in the chat. One is, what is the best form of advocacy? Email, traditional mail, calling, I guess in reference to, you know, trying to get these bills passed or contacting our legislators about them. What's the best sort of avenue or method?
I think all of those ways are good. I think probably the easiest is to email. I would just encourage you, we get a lot of emails where I'm sure you've seen these through other organizations. Sierra Club does a lot of them where it's like, click here to email your legislator. And so then you get a pile of emails in your inbox that all look exactly the same. They don't have any personal stories. They don't have anything to make them stand out. And so I think it's always helpful if you send a personal email. It doesn't have to say a lot. It doesn't have to have some big compelling story, but just to say, this is something that's important to Missourians and important to me, please support it, is helpful. And I guess if the other factor is if this gets to referred, if one of these bills, any one of them gets referred to committee, if you can reach out to the members of that committee, whichever one it gets referred to, and ask for their support, that is also helpful. But like Representative Lewis said, it does really have good support in the House. So it's really a matter of getting it heard and then the ultimate challenge of getting it through the Senate.
And then someone, not necessarily for Representative Dahl, but someone asked a question about if they could get a list of the bills. We do have a slide, Kay, if you want to bring up that slide with the bills on them. We can also send these out in our follow-up email so you can have them. And I want to thank the person from the March of Dimes that said they're having an advocacy day on March 12th, and they will be supporting Representative Dahl's bill. So thank you for that. Any other questions? Are there any other questions? Representative Hicks, like I said before, is still in his committee meeting. If he joins before we're done here, we'll be sure to have him talk about his bill as well. But are there any other questions for Representative Dahl while we have her? Well, thank you, Representative Dahl, for speaking with us and talking to us about the bill. Appreciate you again filing that again this year. We will definitely, as always, be supporting your bill and trying to help get that through.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Your advocacy makes a big difference. And so we appreciate that and your support. And again, I'm always willing to talk or meet with someone or provide suggestions if anyone needs something. So always feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much. And then here's just a list of the bills that have been filed. There may be a few that might be missing, but again, we'll send this out in a follow-up email after this call so that everybody can check. And next, we will move on. We have one of our partners from St. Louis Area Diaper Bank, Sister Marie Orr, who is the food pantry manager for St. Anthony Food Pantry. And they have been a partner of ours for several years. And we are so excited to have Sister Marie on. So I'll get right to her so she can kind of talk to you about St. Anthony Food Pantry, about our partnership, and about how being a partner has helped the families that they serve. So I'll turn it over to Sister Marie. Oh, you're on mute, Sister Marie.
All right, how's that? Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you on the coalition. We in the active arena of working with families could do nothing without your help. I will just give you a little background, but I know people have said to me, oh, why don't you just ask for a donation of diapers from some of the parishes? Okay, that sounds great. But what if I get all size 1 and I need size 3 and size 5? And I always explain that and they go, oh, I never thought of that. I said, but the diaper bank allows me to order every month the diapers I need. So people do want to be generous, but they don't know exactly how to help. But the diaper bank takes care of all those little different items for us. And when I say we have a pretty large food pantry, we served last year over 3,000 different families. And when I took over with another sister in 2011, we wanted to do more than just hand out food, because we had worked with the poor and we know they have so many other needs. So we started, first of all, a resource table where we have resources, everything from GED classes, job openings, health information, free IDs, free legal services. But no matter what, at the end of the day, our parents would say to us, do you have diapers? And of course, at that time, we had to say no. This was 2011. So it would just hurt us to say this every time, because you could see on their faces, they were so stressed out. So when the diaper bank invited me to be a partner in 2017, really, I was so excited, said yes immediately. I didn't even know what it would all entail, but I knew I wanted to belong so I could help our families. They are in such need. Some of the things I'm going to tell you now are just stories, and I know all of you have worked with the poor or underserved, so you probably have had stories like this too. But when I work with them daily for the last 13 years, it is such a joy to be able to help them. I had one time a parent said, because we're only open 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday evening, and Thursday morning. And she came in, I mean, she was so excited. And she said, I am so glad you're open today. And I thought, well, we were open on Monday too, but I'm so glad you're open. She said, I put on the last clean diaper this morning when the baby woke up. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been open. Now, this is before the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank had many more emergency sites. Now it does. It has libraries and it's wonderful. But when you see people just so desperate, another one that I like, which was just another mother, they usually come in, they sign in, they get their food, we tell them, or they tell us what size, we give them their diapers, they go out and put their food away in the car. Then they come back and shop for clothes. This mom came in and said, could I have my diapers first today? before I get my food? Oh, I didn't have a clean diaper to put on my baby this morning, and now it is 10 a.m. The baby has been crying most of the morning. So of course we said yes. She went out, changed the baby. She and the baby both came in very happy. Another mother, and I'm sure you've heard this, sometimes I must wash the not so soiled diapers, let them dry, and use them again. So I know with you, you've had your hearts broken many times when you hear moms have to say this. Since I've been at the pantry for a long time, 13 years, I get to know the families. I get to know some of their struggles, their frustrations. So I always try to interact with them. And it was just last week I said to a mother, and she had gotten her diapers. And I said, well, how are you doing? She said, I'm doing well. I'll sleep better tonight because I have my diapers. That's what it was. It wasn't even paying a utility bill at that moment, but that's what the diapers mean to these families. So I want to help a lot of people sleep a lot better, and that's why I'll do anything to help the diaper bank expand. And I've been blessed because I've seen it expand over and over again. And now with Muriel, she is a real thinker and an innovator. And we're not going to be satisfied in St. Louis until everybody has diapers, okay? Now, and you and I, somebody brought this up in one of the slides. For a mom not to have diapers when the baby's crying, you said it too, it hurts the baby and it hurts the mom. The mom begins to feel she's not a good mom. She can't, do what she can for her children. And the baby, because I've done some psychology classes, it harms the baby so much because the baby soon learns that even if I cry, my needs won't be met. And this leads to just later on some difficulties for our children, like who's going to help me? Who's going to take care of my needs? And as far as the period products, we have always given period products at the food pantry. We've also always given 2 personal care items every time the pantry is open. But the period products, it was one of the 2 items, so they could have tampons and toothpaste. But now through the diaper bank, we can just give them to our families who are in need besides their 2 other personal care items. And again, the amount of money we have to pay for this. Miriam must also be a good finance person to be able to keep everything going because it's worth every penny. And I just wanted to say thank you again. And I want to add that I would be so proud of Missouri if we could be number 18 of the states to exempt diapers from the luxury tax and number 24 of the states to exempt period products. And I am just so grateful for all you're doing for all these moms and babies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Marie. Appreciate you coming on today. Just so everyone knows, Sister Marie had shoulder surgery about a month ago, I think it was, a little over a month ago. When I asked her to come on, and she was like, don't worry, I'll be, ready to go on February 8th. So I really do appreciate her, coming on, even though she had surgery not too long ago. So I appreciate that. I will now turn it over to, did anybody have any questions, I guess, for Sister Marie? If not, then I will turn it over to Gay so that she can talk about our call to action and ask y'all for help.
Okay, thank you so much, Muriel. So this is where you come in, and I've seen a lot of chats about what can we do, how can we help, you can join the movement to end diaper need today. We know that really every child deserves to have clean diapers and a healthy start in life. And so some of the ways you can support us is to contact your legislators to let them know that diaper need is really an issue in your community, and ask for support of any of the bills. And like we said, we'll send those out after this. So you will have a list of those bills, and you'll have a list of who to send information to. Support your local diaper bank. You can host a diaper drive. If you have a group that you are associated with, or your church home, or even Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, you can host a diaper drive and your local diaper bank would happily accept those diapers. Donate diapers. I know that First Chance for Children takes any opened pack of diapers. We will utilize those. If you've successfully potty trained your child and you have extra diapers, we will take those off your hands. And donate money. So I know that you can go out and purchase diapers, and that's wonderful. When you donate money to your local diaper bank, you really, that money goes a lot further, because we can purchase diapers in bulk, and that leads to less expensive diapers, and we can purchase more for that. So financial donations are always welcome. And then just volunteering your time. A lot of diaper banks have to wrap diapers or sort diapers. So you can volunteer your time at a diaper bank. You can volunteer your time to advocate. You can be part of the solution. And that's what we're asking for today. I hope that you have more information about diaper need in Missouri, and you're able to share with others that may not understand diaper need, or don't have a child in diapers. So share information. That's part of advocacy. We do have Zoe's information on the screen here, or you can contact the coalition directly at info@modiaperbanks.org. We do have a website, and it's modiaperbanks.org. You can go to it, and if you have someone who's in need of diapers, you can direct them to the correct diaper bank in their area, and get a little information about the Missouri Diaper Bank Coalition. And I don't think I left anything out, but if anyone wants to add anything, now would be the time.
I think the other thing is Zoe did put in the chat, and we'll also put it in the follow-up email, the link to the Action Network. You can utilize that. You can put in your name and your address, either your personal address or address of your organization, and it will tell you who your legislators are. You can send an email in support of the diaper bills, diaper period supply bills. You can also tailor it. So instead of using the wording that's on there, you can also put in a personal testimony, and that email will then go directly to those legislators that you can put in. I'll turn it over to Zoe if she wants to close us out, or if anybody has any lengthy questions, we'll also have to answer any questions.
Sure. Yeah, so I just want to thank you all again so much for taking the time to join us today and learn more about the work of the Missouri Diaper Bank Coalition. We're really excited for you all to take this knowledge and information back to your legislators, back to the state legislature to advocate for some of these legislative priorities. Like Mario mentioned, we're also going to be sending out a follow-up email that will include links to the Action Network, more information on the bills that have been introduced, and some more information on next steps. But I just want to thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you.